All right, well, perfect. It's 9 o'clock here on the East Coast, and so in honor of everybody's time, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Uh, you're joining us for the September 11th, 2018 Zoom training call. And last week we had Jackie, I think it was, and she asked about uh, different ways to be able to how to share the products with people. And obviously, I think that's probably a pretty key point. And obviously, sharing the products is how to share them exactly. And so we're going to play around a little bit with some just specific ideas, and then kind of play around with some just basic casual conversation about exactly how you get to sharing the products, because obviously it's key. So one of the things I did, it was interesting because I don't know if Facebook is always listening to my conversations, but I was on Facebook and I saw a video put up by Eric Worre that was out there, and he had somebody speaking on it, and it was a woman who was very, I guess, pretty savvy when it came to social media marketing and Facebook and different things like that. And she had a really great process, which was really simple, and it came down to just kind of three things. First one was crazy, right? And then compliment. And then the third part of that is confidence. And she was talking about how, obviously this is not a necessarily a cold marketing kind of concept or tactic, but what it is it's really just about engaging people. Because I don't know about you, but I've noticed that recently Facebook has really just kind of changed things up, and no one's seen anything. And I really have a firm belief that has a lot to do with just the enormous amount of content on Facebook. And so, you may have 1,000 friends, you may have 5,000 friends, but the number of people that are actually seeing your content is probably so small that it can really wreak havoc on you when you start looking at your Facebook likes, or you start looking at your views or whatever, because most people just don't see it. They flat out just don't see it because they're not sitting there on Facebook as much, or they've just got too much content coming in, and so you're hardly ever on their feed because they've got so much other content. Because as more people like pages and information from different celebrities and different social media icons that are out there, and influencers is what they call them, those tend to show up first. And so in order to really maximize and capitalize on the idea that you're going to be able to work with people and actually engage them, it's pretty simple. So she talks about this idea that and she said, it's kind of a script, but it's not really a script. But she says the first part is that she'll reach out to somebody on on Facebook, and she'll say, you're going to think I'm crazy. And she goes, I get it, but I keep seeing you pop up my Facebook newsfeed. And she says, make some outrageous compliment about something about them, whether it be their hair, their kids, their activity in philanthropy, or whatever it is that you're witnessing on their page. And and then kind of just engage them in that way. And then what she talks about doing is then it's kind of like letting people know, what, I see that you really have an amazing network of people that they're always commenting and they're watching your media posts, and you would be amazing at what I do. What are your thoughts on working with me? And so you're getting into that conversation. Now, obviously, you just don't want to copy and paste that message every single time. You want to get into a conversation with them, ask them a question, get them to respond, and then you would go into the whole thing about have you ever thought about working with me, because you'd be great at what I do. And that right there will start to kind of open up the conversation for you with those people. And that's really the key. And so you can do that on Twitter, you can do that on LinkedIn, you can do that on so many different social media outlets that you would be able to spend a lot of your time just reconnecting with people. And again, it's really about finding out about what people are and who they are, so that when you do go to them, right, you have something of value to be able to provide them. Because when you're sharing with people and you're creating that that connection with people, you really want to make sure that you're not just coming across as a salesy, pitchy person. Okay, you want to come across as somebody who is, you know, sincerely interested, but also wanting to provide value. And so when you're sharing with people and you're talking about, you know, you get in that conversation with them about who and what they are, you want to make sure that there's some reciprocation in there. You know, you're going to be asking them questions, and I'm sure they're going to probably ask you questions. One of the things that I do personally is I email everybody, because I've got lists of email. I've got literally probably over 100,000 emails that I've had from all the different companies that I've been a part of. And one of the things I'm doing right now is I'm literally emailing people every single day, and I'm just reaching out to them saying, hey, it's been a long time since we've connected, and I wanted to, you know, just kind of let you know what was going on, but I also wanted to find out what you were doing, because maybe there's something I can do to help you. And so, you know, getting that conversation with people and having them respond is key. Because if you just send it off as a sales pitchy kind of thing, like, hey, you know, here's my new company and you should get involved, if they haven't heard from you, it's probably not going to be a good conversation. Some people will jump on it just because if you've had a great relationship with them, they'll be excited about maybe working with you again. But again, the key to sharing network marketing, your opportunity and your products, is about creating value and really getting to that point where you're giving them something and they're giving you something. You know, that's key. Oh, hold on, so that's where you want to take this a little bit and kind of work with it and play with it. Each person, and this is really important for you. Don't don't try and go outside of your personality so much that people, you know, get uncomfortable. You know, it's kind of like, hi, this is me trying to be normal, but I'm not really good at it, as you can see. You know, just be your normal self. Talk to people, ask them questions, find out what's going on with them. Do the things that you would do in a normal friendship or a conversation with people to find out exactly what it is that they could be working on. You know, you could ask people, hey, what projects do you have going on? What are you really working towards right now? Are you you know, where you need to be with your health? Are you where you need to be with your finances? And that will open people up. And it's not necessarily if I went up to somebody and I said, hey, you know, how's it going with your finances? I mean, have you gotten everything together? You're putting money away, you're doing this, you're doing that. And they went, no. Like, I would love to be able to, you know, figure something out differently, because my job is just not cutting it for me. You know, then you can ask them, well, what are you interested in? You know, what could you see yourself doing for extra money to be able to generate that additional income to create the success and the freedom that you want? And really find out what it is they want. Because what they're going to do is they're going to give you exactly what you need to share and how you need to share your opportunity or your products with them to be able to help them make an easier decision to join you. So, you know, really it's really about asking the questions, listening, paying attention, and not getting too excited about the idea that you're going to get to pitch them or sell them on something. Really make sure that you have all of the value that you could possibly obtain from them, and that you've given them some value, and kind of run with it in that direction and go with it. That's really what's going to be key. Okay. Some of the other things that I was just, you know, thinking about when it comes to about how to share the products with people, you know, everything comes down to communication. Everything comes down to the power of the questions that you can ask people. And it's not the salesy questions. It's really finding out what people want, what people are willing to do, and what people need to be able to do in order to achieve the success. You know, really good people that once you get comfortable with it, you know, when somebody goes, well, yeah, you know, I want to make an extra $10,000 a month. Okay, well, great. Well, what do you think you could do that's going to earn you that type of money? And you can have that conversation with them, because a lot of people are just, they're not aware of what it takes to be able to make that kind of money. And so maybe you can share some insight with them, and maybe you can share some ideas with them on what they could do. A lot of people think they're going to be able to invest to make the money. I mean, and you know, I learned that lesson years and years ago. You know, and I pay a lot of money right now to somebody else to give me the information, because I don't have the time. I don't have the skill, and I don't have the connections to make sure that the investments that I make right now are going to be great and sustainable because I'm not connected to the financial markets. Okay. So I actually paid somebody else to be able to do that research, put that information together, and it's benefited me. So, you've got to look for different ways to be able to engage people and help them out, and not try and make your company or your product all about what it is that they need. Because you know what? Sometimes it's just not a good fit. And it's okay to tell people that, you know what, I thought I had something for you, and I just don't think it's a good fit for you. And they may ask, well, what is it? And you tell them, and then, they go, oh yeah, you're absolutely right. Or they'll tell you, you know what, maybe I could do it, because if you're doing it and you're doing well at it, then by all means, I could probably do this myself. And the one characteristic I would say for all of us to kind of, play with when we're working with people and we're sharing the products with people is don't take it too seriously. Don't take it too seriously. It rarely happens. And there's some really high-end professional salespeople that can literally get on the phone with somebody, cold call them, and then close them for thousands and thousands of dollars on something. Okay. And it's so rare. But yet so many of us want to think that that's what we need to be in order to, make a difference or sell a product or get people involved in the opportunity. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be about how you connect with that person. Because there's an old saying that says, friends do what friends do. And when people believe and they can see that you do truly care because of what we stand for with hope, helping others prosper eternally, if you can embody that idea, if you can embody everything about what that idea means, helping others prosper eternally, not helping others buy something from me, okay? It's hope, prospering, really getting people to connect with the right message, with the right product, with the right opportunity, and making sure that it's good for them to be able to create that success in their own lives. The more that you align with our mission, with hope, right, really instilling the integrity with other people and everything else, the more you're going to be able to serve those people. And then when you can serve them, they will flock to you, because everybody is looking to be served in a different way right now. Everybody needs that connection. Everybody needs that ability to be able to make a difference in their lives. And everybody wants it. Everybody wants it. There's not one person out there that is sitting back going, I don't want anything more in my life. I just want to sit here and enjoy nothingness and just kind of be with myself. No, every single person out there is looking. That's why people are going crazy these days, is because they're looking so hard. And you know what? We've convinced ourselves that it's difficult, and it's not. It's just about connecting with people. It's just about asking people questions and really taking a sincere, level-headed interest in people, and just making sure that you provide something of value to them so that they can utilize it. That's why I do a lot of these trainings. That's why we do a lot of the calls, is because we're adding value to people's lives every single day to be able to help people build themselves up. Because a lot of us are broken. A lot of us are broken down by society. We're broken down by judgments of other people. We're broken down by, our parents or our relationships or whatever it is. And we're all looking for that opportunity to break free, like sprouting out through the ground, that seed that finally comes to the surface and goes, oh my gosh, what am I going to do here? And a lot of people are in that stage where they're like going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do here? And you have to be that person that comes from a place of service and has hope for them, so that you can pour a little bit of hope on that flower and watch it grow, and then cultivate it, love it, nurture it, because you need to be able to provide them the support and everything that they're going to be able to need to be able to continue to grow. And that's one thing I've witnessed with all of our team, is that people are starting to step up. Lindsay and Aaron and Alexis and Jackie, and people are stepping up because they want to nurture that. They understand that it's a process. They're okay with it, that it's a process. And it's really about just making that connection with people in a way that allows everybody to support each other and build each other up. And so when you get into that space, sharing the product and the opportunity is easy. One of the things that we're doing at corporate is we're talking about our story. and really finding out what it is and why we're doing what we're doing. And really understanding, you know, what is my purpose in this? What is my mission in this? What is my desire? My desire, and being able to create and have the success that I want to have, and how can I make that come to fruition? So, you know, think about those things. If you haven't thought about why you're doing what you're doing, you're going to have a really tough time sharing the products and opportunity with people, because you won't know why you're doing it. And just like so many people, if you look back in your own life, you'll witness the fact that if you don't feel like somebody's with it, or they feel a little bit sleazy, you're not going to buy from them. You're not going to get involved with them in business. You have to become really understanding and clear on what your purpose is and what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you willing to take the risk of being rejected? Why are you willing to take the risk of investing your money and your time in other people when we all know that people let us down? You've got to understand why you're doing it. You've got to understand that you're doing it because you're looking for the people that do want help. You know, so many times, including myself, I get caught up in all the people that don't want it. You know, I think because of the belief that we have, the belief that I have, you know, we all have the ability to save somebody, right? But the truth of it is that people won't be saved unless they want to be saved. And your job as an affiliate with Living to Be is to go out there and find the people that are willing to extend a hand up and say, help me. And then all you have to do is latch on with them and start to pull. And then they will come. You give them what they need. You give them the tools. You give them the encouragement. You give the confidence. You give them all of these things, and then you will have a growing and flourishing team, because that's what people are looking for. So how to share the product is simple. You get into a conversation, you have a dialogue, you talk about people and what their health is, or what they're looking to accomplish in their health. And then because of our products, because of the integrity of our products, they work, okay? They're not caffeine, they're not sugar, they're not epinephrine, they're not some stimulant that's going to cause people to have a reaction so that they think something's working. They're going to work with the body in a way that's actually going to support their overall well-being. And over time, you will see the difference in the result. You know, Jackie got on last week and was, you know, brought the chairs because she understands that when she had to get off her products, she felt it. And then when she got back on it, she felt the change. And you know what? That comes with time. Everybody has been so stimulated these days to be able to go, you know what, I want to take this pill at 9 o'clock this morning and I need to see a result by 12, you know? And if they don't see the result, they're like, this product crap, because they're so used to caffeine and like really bad stimulants in the products to be able to get them to go, I'm feeling something. You know, they get rushes like with the niacin and stuff like that, or they get the spike in energy because of the caffeine, or they get the rush and the addiction because of the sugar. You know, that's the stuff that's causing people to really struggle, because when you take those products, your body is under an immense amount of stress over a consistent period of time, and it starts to break down. And then they struggle. Then they put the weight back on. Then their body becomes unhealthy. Then they get sick. So with our products, because of the integrity that we design them with, they're pure, they're right on, they're exactly what your body needs to be able to help sustain itself through all of the stuff that you do to it every single day. The stress, the bad food, the Coca-Cola, the coffees, all the things that you put in your body that you just put in your body to get by, all of those things are being worked out with our products because of what the products do for your body to support it. So think about that. Really find the confidence to be able to share information with people and understand why our products are more important. That will allow you to be able to share the products much more easily too. Okay? So let me ask, Anybody have any questions specifically? Like, maybe you have an instance where and this would be a really great option for people too, because there's always going to be objections. Okay. But there's always great insight in objections. I'm learning, recently to kind of let go of the resistance or the idea that I did something wrong, and realize that what's actually happening is that I'm just experiencing something that's causing me to get better. And so when you get an objection, you don't get somebody that's interested and they tell you no. It's just an opportunity for you to look at what you did, ask some different questions, find a different way, and do things better the next day. That's all it is. And the more that you're willing to do that, you don't know how many times I have heard no over the last 20 years in network marketing. That's what makes me so chiseled in my character about who I am and what I believe in, is because I have worked and navigated through every little thing. There's not one thing that a person could tell me no that I would believe. Okay? Doesn't matter. I've heard it all. I've heard all the excuses. I've heard all the stories. There is an absolute will to the human spirit that can overcome anything if someone decides to do it. So when somebody tells me no, I'm like, hey, that's okay. If you don't believe it, you're never going to do it anyways. So more power to you. So maybe some of you have a question specifically about how to share, or maybe you want to give your input, like Lindsay. Maybe share some things. Maybe, one of the things too, what I would love in these kind of talks too, as we build a community here and we get bigger and bigger, is that, sharing what's working for you. And because I know, like, Alexis does a lot of different things online and she gets a lot of great results. Everybody's doing something differently. So it's a great opportunity to be able to share with everybody, because you know what? There's more than enough. I never want anybody to be afraid to share an idea because you think it's going to take away, like somebody else is going to do it better than you. Well, great. Because if somebody does it better than you, that's okay, because that will allow you to get better. And then it just becomes this little stepping stone of like, who's going to be better, who's going to be better, who's going to be better. And it's like, and next thing you know, you're both the best, and it's okay. So anybody have anything to share? No, don't wave at me. Unmute yourself.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. All right, I had a customer that ordered that was on an old product with me, and then they ordered the Living to Be, and I asked him the other day how he liked it, and he said he didn't like it as well as the other because he didn't get the rush.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to come back. The only thing I said to him was, I said, well, that you're getting the rush from sugars and caffeines, where with our product, it's more of a clean product and it works with your body and the cells in your body. So is there any other way I could have handled that any better?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's always a way, and it really just comes into really understanding and knowing. It's if somebody would say, well, but I like this other product better because I get this big rush, I would say, hey, listen, Jim, you know what? I appreciate the rush too, and it's one of those things where everybody gets addicted to the rush. But let me ask you this: if you are always rushing, how long do you think you're going to last? Because that rush is putting your body under an immense amount of stress. And if you consistently do it day after day after day after day after day after day, your body will eventually start to break down and wear out. And so, there are healthier ways to get the rush. When you're healthy and you're vibrant and your body is working the way that it's working, you don't need to feel the rush. Because you'll be full of life. You'll be full of energy because everything is like working properly. The reason we need the rush is because we're so freaking burnt out and beat up from life and bad products. So, like, which one do you want to do? Do you want to continue down this path and eventually have a big crash and burn? Or would you like to get your body on track so that you don't have to be so dependent on those rushes and stimulants that have to be put into your body for it to work?
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Thanks, Jackie.
Hey, Calvin, how are you?
Hello, Lindsay.
I really loved all of this that you were discussing, and Jackie, thank you for sharing that, because Alexis and I talked to somebody today and we were talking about gimmicky products, and there's a lot out there. I mean, we've got the Red Bull gives you wings, and it's really your, right. It's really your posture. And I just want you all to remember that no matter what somebody says in regards to disagreement or objection or whatever the case may be, really not having that attachment to it, like Calvin said, because I feel like when you are unattached from that expectation or that outcome, you have better posture and you have more confidence. And anytime you have posture and confidence, people are going to be more open to what you're saying. So stop, take a breath, tell them, you know what, that's a valid concern. However, this is my perspective on things. And, no doubt that you guys will be able to show them the bigger, broader picture when it comes to health and wellness, because that's what we're doing here. We just want to help educate people and keep them informed and keep them healthy. I do want to mention that I think it was last week or the week before, I was going through an old box of pictures from my parents' house, and I found some newspaper clippings from when I played soccer in high school. No, before high school, when I was even younger. And they had the first and last names of these girls that I played with that I haven't seen in forever. And so I looked them all up on social media and sent them all friend requests and private messaged them with, it's almost exactly to a T of what Calvin was talking about tonight. I was just like, oh my gosh, craziest thing. I found this newspaper clipping and it took me back to when we played at this tournament. And, I had so much fun with you. And, how are you doing? How are things? Are you still playing? And not all of them have responded to me, but quite a few. And now we're connected on social media, and the ones that are local, I'm inviting them to play with me in my women's league. And it's just like, you always have to be looking to grow and expand your circle, your friends, your network, but it's an authentic way. It's a very real way. And just like on your affiliate kit, when you're making your list and it says to make, categorize people persons, successful, influential with others. I love that part because that's an authentic compliment when you're reaching out. Listen, you're great with people, or you're super successful, or you know what? People really look up to you with the information that you have and the experience that you have. Are you open to working with me? I think you'd be incredible. So really get into that affiliate kit, dive into it, because everything that we talk about on these inspirational calls and training calls, a lot of the content in there is going to help guide you too. So great stuff, Calvin. Thank you so much.
No, it's great, Lindsay. I appreciate it. It is good information, to be able to have ideas like that, because how many of us have yearbooks? I just realized I've got a closet full of yearbooks from my high school and stuff, and you can go through there and you can start friend requesting people and just connecting with them. And again, you've got to have the right intention. You've got to have, there's nothing wrong. And I really want you to get this. And if you have a tough time, go read Wallace Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. And the first quote in the book, I think, is he says, it's actually the failure is the person who doesn't wish to succeed. And it's something along that. It's not like that. It's a much better quote than that. But the whole point here is that we're all put here on this earth to serve other people, and you can only do that when you grow your network. I was born Baptist. My father was a Baptist preacher, so Jesus was the best networker because he got 12 disciples frontline, and then they went out and spread it to the world, and it was kind of like, and that's always been the joke that my dad and I have shared with each other, of that whole thing. And I said, because he's still very cautious about network marketing, and I've been in it for 20 years and I have done extremely well. And he still looks at me like, what snake oil are you selling? Right. And I always laugh at him because, he's very intelligent and very witty. And I'm always like, well, you realize that real snake oil was actually a thing. It was the bullshit that America put out that was called snake oil because it wasn't working, and it's funny because, all those things are true. And so you just got to look at it from that point. Like, the only way that anyone is ever going to be able to touch other people in a way that's going to serve them is to create a network and to start spreading that word through that network. And that's all you're doing with network marketing. And I've said it in our opportunity calls, and I'll say it again. There is no difference in network marketing or traditional business. Okay. There's a lot of people that own network marketing companies like Warren Buffett and people like that. There's the cool part about it though is that instead of living to be paying millions of dollars to some marketing and advertising agency to go run a bunch of ads on TV or on billboards, we turn around and give that money to the people that have a passion for sharing. And if anybody looks at you and says, that's wrong, that's a scam, just look at them and go, I love you. Good luck, and walk away, because you don't need to try and convince anybody. Like I said before, you just need to find the people that want something more in their lives rather than another job. Okay. Don't find people that want more jobs. Okay. This is not a job. This is an opportunity. This takes a lot more work than a job. It takes a lot more dedication and commitment and enthusiasm than any job will ever take. Okay. You have to have it deep, deep within your gut and your belly about what it is that you want and what you're willing to do for it. And that's the people that become successful at network marketing. No one else does. People that want to just barely get by, talk to two people and see if it takes off and becomes an incredible multi-million-dollar business, that is not what network marketing is about. It is about digging deep. It's about finding your purpose and your passion and your ability to go out there and step outside of your own comfort zone and keep pushing yourself until you achieve what it is that you want. And you're not willing to say or take no for an answer. It doesn't matter. I know a lot of us face that with people. You've got to just keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. And obviously be aware if something's not working, like you're walking up and smacking people in the face going, hey, can I talk to you about my business? Well, that's probably not going to work. So don't keep doing that. Right. You've got to turn within. You've got to really understand that everything that you need right now is in your own body. It's all within. There's nothing you need. You don't, I encourage people to do the trainings. I encourage people to do everything that they want to do to learn more. But until you just realize that everything you need is in you right now, you'll never get out there and start acting. It's what Zig Ziglar called analysis or paralysis by analysis, where you think that you have to know every single detail before you take action. And if that's you, snap out of it, because it's never going to happen unless you actually start to act and learn in the process of learning. Okay. So you've got to just go out there and do it. Anybody else have anything else?
I want to share kind of just what I'm doing.
Sure.
And thank you for all the awesome tips. I'm so excited. But so I've been really trying to focus on getting out of my comfort zone and connecting with people and really just doing belly to belly. And I can finally talk like a normal person. So excited. But so we've been really just connecting with people and trying to connect with, even at the playground and stuff, getting numbers and planning play dates or whatever the case may be. But I've also been reaching out to, even customers that I've had for so long that we've never really hung out or anything, and, asking them, are they willing to go work out? Are they willing to, go on a walk on Saturday? And so, this whole weekend, I'm actually booked with 3 different customers just going and working out with them. And so not only is it going to help me, but I'm getting to build that relationship. And, and I'm also emailing. I'm taking your email idea, by the way. But I've been emailing a lot of my, really close friends from my childhood and just putting my story out there and really just breaking it down, like why I'm doing this and what my goal is and my why and my reasoning. And me and Lindsay actually had an amazing 3-way today with one of my friends from middle school. And it was just from me leading that story. And I never even thought, I was so scared to reach out to the closest people possible because I never thought, I didn't want to scare them away. And she's actually looking for something more. I mean, she's going for her bachelor's and she's looking for something completely different. So it's been really fun.
No, cool, Alexis. Thank you for sharing. And I also want to tackle, or not tackle, but share something that you and I talked about the other day too, which is, this skincare is coming. Okay, it's very, very close. I got word of some news today, but I can't say anything just because I've been in manufacturing for a decade and I understand how it works. And so I'm trusting that this one is going to be different because that's what I'm trusting. But the cool part about this is that there's something very special about skincare. Okay, it's a multi-billion dollar business. I think it's $280 billion or $280 billion business worldwide. I mean, it's huge. I was doing research well before we got into the skincare. I was watching a company that literally went from 13 million one year to $73 million a year the next year. So we're talking like 6 times the growth. Because when you've got a great product and you've got a great system, we've got 9 amazing products. And if you've seen the packaging, which I know a lot of you have, you've seen the marketing, there's a reason why it looks so amazing, okay? And that's because of the woman behind it. She is amazing. She's a grandmother. She's fostered 14 kids. I think she's got 8 grandkids, and she just married off her daughter this last weekend. And she has got an amazing, amazing story that is really going to spark an interest and an excitement in people because of where she comes from and what she's about. And when you get to meet her, you will see just how amazing she is as a person and as a human being. And there is something special about that because I'm all about empowering women and really supporting that idea of what they represent. And what's really cool about it is that there's just something special about skincare. Like if you're not able to, get somebody involved with skincare for whatever reason, okay, this is a I would say it's a middle end skincare. I mean, I remember my it sounds bad, but my first ex-wife, I remember when we went to Neiman Marcus and we would buy skincare, she picked up a little container like this big and it was $400. Okay. So people are just crazy about their skin. And, the message that we're going to be really writing on here is that, the inspired and the leash work on the inside and out, and then the skincare works on from the outside in. And that's one of the reasons why this lady joined us, is because she believes in that whole, the totality of overall health. And feeling beautiful to her is one of the most amazing things that any person can feel. And so when you're not able to get somebody, let's say that they're not ready or whatever, there is nothing wrong with asking somebody, hey, listen, I've got this new skincare line coming out and I need your help in sharing it. I want to have you invite a bunch of your friends over and I want to do a party for them and I want to show them our skincare. I want to let them, try it out. I want to let them experience it because I need to build this business. I want to build this business because of what it's going to do for people. And then you can have types of those parties. You don't have to, worry about anything other than that. Just letting people know, hey, you can help me, right? Help me build my business by inviting some of your friends over. And then if you want to work something out, you go right ahead. If you want to say, hey, if you have a party and I sell some products, then, we'll work out something. Or, if it's big enough party and enough people buy, then it's like looking at them and going, listen, if you want to get involved, I'll put these people with you because they're your people. And then it's an instantaneous check. It's an instantaneous business and they can start building right away. And again, whatever you do and how you do it is going to duplicate in your business. And that's what's key. So it's really just about what are you willing to do as we get closer to be able to really start putting yourself out there and sharing this with people. Every woman that I've talked to, even the women that aren't into skincare, are excited about the skincare because of the message, and because of the meaning, and because of the products. It's crazy. Okay. There's just something magical about what we have, and I'm really excited about it. And I will share information with everybody as soon as I possibly can. But put yourself out there, because we're going to make a big push for it. We're going to make a big push into the skincare industry and the skincare market, and because we want this to be successful for everybody. So I'm excited about that. And anybody else have anything else? Come on. Nothing? Perfect. Excellent. All right. Well, then, Lindsay, you want to wrap it up with anything?
No, I just want to thank all of you for showing up tonight and getting on this training call. And I'm just excited. I'm so excited. And I know anything that Calvin just talked about, I don't have any of the information because I can already sense my phone going off. So we're going to have to wait for him.
Yeah. No, I haven't shared anything specific other than with Danny, but it's once I have the specifics of it, I am so excited to get this skincare out there. Everything's been loaded into the system. The web pages are almost done. Everything is ready to go. All we have to do is flip the switch and put the product in the warehouse, and it'll start being shipped out. And it's going to be a ride. That's for sure. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful blast and ride. Yeah, there you go. Woo, woo.
All right, guys, get excited.
All right, everybody. I appreciate everybody showing up tonight. Thank you so much for the participation, and I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Anybody have a topic for next Tuesday?
Ooh.
Come on. Don't make me turn around. Don't be shy. I mean, that means that everybody here has perfected what they need to do, and so we don't need to have these training calls anymore, and you can just go out there and build an incredible business. Or do you need some, I don't feel like you need help, but maybe you just want a different perspective. You want some different trainings, or just something to be able to help you that you struggle with, that everybody's going to struggle with. I mean, I struggle with everything.
Can we do a training on stories?
Stories?
Like our story? Like us create it?
Like a personal story?
Yeah, I just know I have a few people that I want to do trainings with, and I try to schedule them. But is there a way for us to maybe do like a story training to try to motivate some people to get on and then help them build their story?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we can do a story training. That's fine. Because it is. I mean, everything comes down to the story that you can tell people, and the most successful people are the best storytellers. And the story that we all need to be telling is about ourselves, because that is what connects with people. We can all tell stories about other people, and those are great. Goldcast has made it a big thing about telling stories about other people. But when you're out there wanting to market and network with people and create relationships, you need to tell them your story. And because that's where they're going to connect with at the deepest level with you. So yeah, we'll go over stories next week, next Tuesday. So thank you. All right then. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your evening, and look forward to seeing everybody on the call tomorrow with Bruce and Renee at 12 o'clock Eastern tomorrow, Wednesday. So
Say
have a great night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.